The glowing screen of her phone, clutched tight in her hand at 2 a.m., cast a sickly blue light across her sleeping face. What would you do if the person you loved most, the one you built a life with, was meticulously planning a future that deliberately excluded you? I never thought I would find myself staring at a vision board hidden in the back of her closet, filled with glossy magazine cutouts of our dream home, our perfect life, but with one chilling omission: me. The mystery wasn't asterisk if asterisk she was leaving, but asterisk who asterisk she was leaving me for. And how long this silent, insidious betrayal had been underway. The faint scent of a cologne I didn't recognize, clinging to her pillow, was the first whisper of a storm I was utterly unprepared for. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. Our life in Los Angeles, specifically in a charming craftsman home off Larchmont Boulevard, always felt like a movie. Sarah, with her bright, ambitious eyes and a laugh that could fill any room, was the leading lady, was the steady, supportive husband, a software engineer who adored her. We had plans. A trip to Italy, renovating the kitchen, maybe even starting a family. But the vision board, discovered during a late-night search for a misplaced tax document, shattered that illusion. It wasn't just the pictures of our house meticulously cropped to remove my presence, but the subtle additions. A sleek, modern sports car I knew she coveted, a man's watch peeking from a cuff in one image, a hand that wasn't mine. Humiliation washed over me, cold and sharp. It wasn't just that she was cheating. It was the calculated, almost artistic way she was erasing me from our shared narrative. The strange behavior had started subtly, like a slow leak. Late nights at work, events that never quite added up. Her phone, once left carelessly on the counter, now guarded like a state secret. The sudden intense interest in her appearance, new lingerie, expensive perfumes, a gym membership she actually used. I dismissed it as stress, a new phase, anything but the truth. I was a fool, blinded by love and trust. One evening, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed with a text. "Can't wait for our weekend in Malibu, my love." So, Mark. My blood ran cold. Malibu, that was where she said she was going for a girls' spa retreat. The pieces clicked into place with a sickening thud. The vision board, the cologne, the late nights, it was all a grotesque mosaic of deceit. I confronted her, my voice trembling with a mixture of rage and disbelief. "Who is Mark?" I asked, holding up her phone, the text message glaring like an accusation. Her face, usually so expressive, became a mask of icy indifference. "He's just a colleague," she said, her voice flat, devoid of any emotion. "You're being paranoid, David." She turned away, dismissing me, her eyes already calculating. That was the moment I realized the woman I married was gone, replaced by a cold, manipulative stranger. She denied everything, twisted my words, and even tried to make me feel guilty for invading her privacy. The gaslighting was masterful, almost convincing. She became even colder, more distant, using my pain as a weapon. She started leaving her phone face down, locking it and taking calls in hushed tones in the other room. The house, once our sanctuary, became a battleground of silent accusations and thinly veiled contempt. Mark, I soon discovered, was a senior partner at her law firm, a man known for his flashy cars and even flashier ego. I saw them once, by chance at a coffee shop on Melrose Avenue. He was smug, his arm draped possessively around her, whispering something that made her laugh, a laugh I hadn't heard in months. They looked untouchable, basking in their illicit glow, completely unaware of the storm brewing in my heart. I felt a primal scream building in my chest, but I swallowed it, forcing a calm I didn't feel. This wasn't going to be a messy, public confrontation. This was going to be a surgical strike. I broke down, truly broke down, in the solitude of my home office, the city lights of LA blurring outside the window. The loyal husband was shattered, replaced by a hollow shell. But from that emptiness, a new resolve began to form. I wasn't going to be a victim. I was going to be a strategist. I started gathering proof, meticulously, patiently. I installed discreet cameras in the living room and kitchen, capturing her late-night calls and hushed conversations. I hired a private investigator, a grizzled ex-LAPD detective named Frank, who specialized in infidelity cases, provided me with irrefutable evidence. Photos of Sarah and Mark entering and leaving a discreet hotel in Santa Monica. Receipts from expensive dinners. Even a recording of them discussing their future together. The evidence piled up, a damning testament to her betrayal. With the proof in hand, I began to set my traps. I consulted with a divorce attorney, a sharp, no-nonsense woman named Ms. Albright, whose reputation preceded her. She advised me on California's community property laws, the nuances of emotional distress, and how to ensure Sarah received nothing but the cold, hard truth of her actions. I also started subtly leaking information to mutual friends, planting seeds of doubt about Sarah's work trips and her sudden aloofness. I wanted the social fallout to be as devastating as the legal one. I knew Sarah valued her reputation above all else, especially within her elite professional circles. The public exposure happened during her firm's annual gala, a glittering affair at the Biltmore Hotel downtown. I arrived uninvited, a USB drive hidden in my pocket. During the speeches when Mark was about to be lauded for a recent case, I discreetly connected the drive to the main projector. The screen, moments before displaying Mark's achievements, suddenly flashed with a slideshow of Frank's photos. Sarah and Mark hand in hand, kissing, entering the Santa Monica Hotel. The murmurs turned into gasps, then outright shock. Sarah's face, initially a picture of horror, contorted into a silent scream. Mark, pale and sweating, tried to pull the plug, but it was too late. The images, the undeniable proof, were seared into everyone's minds. The fallout was immediate and catastrophic. Sarah was fired from her firm, her reputation in the legal community irrevocably tarnished. The divorce proceedings were swift and brutal. With the overwhelming evidence of her infidelity and financial misconduct, she had been siphoning funds from our joint account. For her lavish dates with Mark, she lost everything: the house, her savings, even her professional license. Mark, facing his own scandal, was forced to resign and moved out of state, a coward fleeing the wreckage. Sarah, once so arrogant and self-assured, was completely ruined, a pariah in the city she once conquered. I saw her once more, months later, walking alone down a desolate stretch of Venice Beach, her once vibrant hair dull, her shoulders slumped. She didn't see me, and I didn't approach. There was no triumph, no joy, only a profound emptiness. The revenge was complete, but it had left a hollow space where my love once resided. The silence of the ocean waves is the only sound, a quiet, haunting echo of a life that was